You know, I appreciate Bette Miller more now than I did in the past when I was a lot younger. She was a fantastic, a brassy singer. She just was a great show tune singer. Just did some great cover records. Never could get into some of her slow records like the Rose because I'm kind of prejudiced against real slow records. I like it upbeat, fast, mid tempo, the fast. But this record coming in at number 45 on Billboard's Hot 100 the week of November 3rd, 1973. A great record by Ben Miller. A two-sided thing. Friends, You Got to Have Friends, along with Chapel of Love from her debut album, The Divine Miss M. One of the producers of this album, you won't believe it. Barry Manilow got his start playing with Ben Miller, arranging for her, producing some of her stuff, but he wasn't the only producer of this album. The song, let me go back on this record. Got to Have Friends. It was written by a couple of fellows. One of the guys who wrote this song, his name was Bussy Linehart. Linhart. Did a little research on this guy. One time roommate of John Sebastian when he moved to New York City in 1963. John Sebastian, who later became lead singer of The Lovin' Spoonful. He was also a session musician. He played on sessions of Carly Simon, Richie Havens, and Jimi Hendrix. He played on a cut off of Jimi Hendrix's Cry of Love album. He played the vibraphone off of Cry of Love, which was an album that came out by Jimi Hendrix after he passed away. It came out, was released in 1971. Speaking of Jimi Hendrix, another guy who wrote this record, Friends, You Got to Have Friends, Mark Muji Klingman. When Klingman was 16 years old, he joined a group called Jimmy James and the Blue Flames. Guess who else was in that group? A very young Jimi Hendrix before he got famous, before he got psychedelic-fied. Anyway, this debut album by the Divine Miss M, and she was just divine. I mean, it's just, what can I say? Fantastic voice, into your face, but in a good way. Nightclub show tunes. The Divine Miss M, and I'll get into some more of the credits of this in just a minute, but mostly just cover records. She covered mostly just covers. Do You Want to Dance, the lead-off single from that album, early 1973, the laid-back, the almost sultry, almost seductive. Do You Want to Dance, her take on that Bobby Freeman tune. Bobby Freeman from the Sock Off years back in 1959. God, I'm already getting stoked from Sock Off years. Doing these Sock Hop remakes in 1973. And the second big hit by Ben Miller off that album. Remember the Boogie Woogie Bugle Boy of Company B, the Andrews Sisters records. She had that big remake back in the summer of 1973. I remember listening to that song when we were vacationing in Florida. I believe it's in Pensacola. No, it's Fort Walton. The local top 40 station was playing the hell out of Boogie Woogie Bugle Boy. Quite a novelty record. Great remake by Ben Midler. And now we come to the song Friends. You Got to Have Friends / Chapel of Love. Now let me go through some of the credits of this album. Cissy Houston sang on this album. The mother of Whitney Houston. She sang backing vocals on, I just found this out, Do You Want to Dance? Cissy Houston sang backup on that record, if I'm reading this correctly. Other people, loads of people played on this album. We are talking just talent galore. Melissa Manchester supplying backing vocals to some of the cuts on this album. Barry Manilow playing piano and rhythm track, and he also produced some of the cuts on this album as well. Tom Bell, the legendary Tom Bell, providing horn and string arrangements on Do You Want to Dance? Tom Bell, the guy who produced the Stylistics, the guy who produced the Spinners. Tom Bell put the Stylistics on the map. You Are Everything, all the hit records by the Stylistics in the early to mid 70s. Well, in the early 70s. Produced by Tom Bell and written by Tom Bell, along with Linda Creed. Arif Mardin arranged a track on this album. Arif Mardin put the Bee Gees back on the map. He disco-fied the Bee Gees. Main Course, their comeback album in 1975, it was produced by Arif Mardin. Jive Talking, Nights on Broadway, Arif Mardin Productions. That's it. I think there's about 20 names on this thing, on the credits. But let's go ahead and wrap this thing up. Here it is, lovely record by Bette Midler. It only got as high as number 40, just barely cracked the top 40. Up 50 to 45 the week of November 3rd, 1973. It is Miss Divine Bette Midler. But you got to have friends.